Welcome to the 10th short talk about the invisible world. Again, I will try and be brief. If you've been listening to these and some of what I've written or recorded over the years, you know that I've been trying to invite you into what is sacred. And lately, I've been talking about the invisible world as a larger context for the sacred. Within what's invisible is a sacredness. There's also a lot that just is incidental energy of no particular quality. So the invisible world isn't one thing. And when you come to be resident inside of it, as I am, it appears differently than if you're outside looking in. So from the inside, I have made a strong effort to deconstruct the invisible world so that it doesn't appear to be burdened with images or structures. It turns out it can all be deconstructed so that what remains is simply an invisibility, which in various moments, in various ways, has different levels of vibration. There's some high energy concentrations, some low energy concentrations, and everything in between. But surprisingly, there's no structures. There's no images, there's no figures. There are collections of energy that I could imagine to be a figure or a structure, but I can just as easily experience them without that imagining. So from a clear, deconstructed point of view, there is no construction. It's simply a vastness. You might imagine it as a vast ocean, without fish, of course, just a vastness. It has no sound. It has no wind. And it has no fixed character. What surprised me from the inside is that it's always changing. It's always fluid. It's in motion and directionless. It's neither conflictual or cooperative. It just is this vastness. My experience of it is that it's extraordinarily neutral. It has no preferences. It has no biases. It has nothing that it wants me to be or do. It just is. It always has been, it always will be, and it'll always change because it's outside of history and it's outside of time. or perhaps being outside of history means that it's outside of time. As I experience it directly, it's full of what logically I would say are contradictions. It is this, it isn't this. It is that, it isn't that. It's quite extraordinary in its capacity to contain all that is. What I can tell you is that there's no negativity. That doesn't imply that human negativity has stopped. It's just that within the invisibility, there's no negativity. No harm will ever come to me, nor has it. So being resident inside the invisible world is a safe space. It's truly safe. And it's not going to take care of me. And it's not going to do anything to me. And it's very alive. And it has its own rules, its own processes. They're not human coordinated, these rules and processes. And that's what gives all this its mysterious quality. It's completely other. And other that is truly other. And there's no way to penetrate it because it doesn't respond in that way to me, and I suspect to no one else. It's its own mysterious realm. It has a life of its own. Everything in the invisible world is invisible. It doesn't manifest to humans. It's self-contained. You can visit if you know how. You can't just walk in. You have to get inside through some kind of a gateway, some kind of a process. On my website is the old Grove teaching, where I take you step by step into the invisibility using the natural world as your access. All that I have talked about over many years about the invisible world needs to be understood as my process of letting go of my own concepts, my own beliefs, my own expectations, and simply doing my best to see what's there. Or I should say what's here, because I'm speaking to you from inside the invisibility. I'm assuming that if you go to the trouble of actually visiting the invisible world, not as religion, but as direct personal experience, you will come to the invisibility in a spirit of service, and devotion. I take that for granted. After that, you're in the realm of pure experience in which there's extraordinary energy flows. Some of these flows I can comprehend, some I can't. But there is no structure. There's only process. There's only change. And it's not chaotic and it's not orderly. It has a different character. It just is in this odd, mysterious experience of being inside a vastness that is constantly changing, has no structure, is completely orderly and unknown and mysterious and ambiguous, undefined, and without any reason for me to wonder about my safety or my future. My future, obviously, is the invisible world. When I leave my body, that's where I will come to reside. So will you. What do you get paying attention to all this? You get nothing. There's no benefit. The invisible world won't somehow rally to your defense. It doesn't work that way. It never said it would, and it won't. And in its own odd way, it makes itself known to me, not in a language that is human, but in some way that's similar to communicating with a tree. A tree will make itself known to you in a language that your deeper knowing can comprehend with patience. Similarly, with patience, I have learned to comprehend what I'm being told. What do I get from all this? Nothing. Am I happy inside the invisible world? I wouldn't say I'm happy. To be completely candid, I'm reassured. It turned out that we are not doomed to the material nightmare. There really is an immense and extraordinarily vast world that has nothing to do with the materiality of our day-to-day life inside of our ordinary existence. Yes, there is this vastness, this extraordinariness. And that, of course, has been an immense relief and release for me. I have the daily experience of the wonder of it all. It really is quite majestic, far more so than the images I've seen from telescopes. It's quite extraordinary. Thank you for watching.